all the victims, including the mother of Charles Jones, who traveled from Jacksonville this morning to be present for this announcement. Today, I stand before Tampa Police Major Pat Messmer, Jacksonville Sheriff T.K. Waters, and Hillsborough State Attorney Susie Lopez to announce the arrest of 3 people in the deadly shooting of Charles Jones.
Today, we will be discussing the significant developments in the Julio Fulio case and the recent arrests. This incident was unprecedented, captured in stunning 4K surveillance footage, featuring dramatic rainfall and a strikingly cinematic quality. However, the harsh reality is that the Julio Fulio attack will be remembered as a historic event, tragically claiming multiple lives. Julio Fulio, whose real name was Charles Jones, was tragically gunned down in a calculated attack on June 23, 2024, while celebrating his 26th birthday in Tampa, Florida. The incident occurred around 4:40 a.m. in the parking lot of a hotel near the University of South Florida. According to surveillance footage and police reports, 3 shooters ambushed Jones as he was sitting in the front passenger seat of a car. The assailants, armed with 2 rifles and a handgun, unleashed a barrage of gunfire at the vehicle. This devastating attack not only claimed Jones's life, but also injured 3 other individuals who were fortunately able to survive. The homicide appears to be the result of a long-standing gang rivalry. Authorities believe that members of 2 rival gangs, ATK and 1200, coordinated to target Jones, who was affiliated with the 6 Block gang. The suspects allegedly followed Jones throughout the night, tracking his movements after he had posted his location on social media during his birthday celebrations. This tragic event highlights the ongoing issue of gang violence and its devastating consequences, cutting short the life of a rising artist in a premeditated act of violence. Now, let's talk about the arrests, and let's get into all the details that have been released into the public eye. So, on June 26, 2024, just 3 days after Julio Fulio was ambushed, Jacksonville Sheriff's officers observed a gold SUV speeding with dark tinted windows. Patrol lights were activated on the unmarked sheriff's vehicle, and a traffic stop was conducted. The driver was identified as 18-year-old Sean Gathright. A distinct smell of marijuana emanated from the vehicle, although Sean denied having or smoking any. He was asked to step out and stood at the back of the vehicle while the deputy conducted a search. Inside, the deputy found a small bag with marijuana residue and mushrooms, a Glock 19 in the center console, and several bags of ammunition, along with firearm parts and accessories in the back seats. Sean was arrested and taken into custody, then brought to the Crime Gun Intelligence Center office for an interview. The next day, Jacksonville sheriffs received actionable intelligence regarding a conspiracy to commit homicide. Acting on this new information, a search warrant was obtained and executed immediately. Detectives arrived at a home located on Jacksonville's north side. They were informed that 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, 21-year-old Alicia Andrews, and a baby were inside the home. Surrounding the house, detectives began issuing verbal commands over a PA system. After 15 to 20 minutes, the occupants surrendered.
Put your hands up!
Put your
hands in the air! Hands up!
Hands in the air! Hands in the air!
All right, slowly walk toward me. Let's go. Right here. Walk right here. Let's go. Yeah.
Walk this way, listen to the instructions.
Yep.
Hey, get your hands up and walk out towards me. Hey, over here.
Come this way.
Over here. You're going to get hit with the left lethal. Get your hands up and walk towards me. Hands up and walk towards me. Hands up and walk towards me. Keep coming. 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 Stop. Stop. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Stay there. Stay there. Don't move.
Keep walking. walking. Now turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Is there anybody else inside?
Once in custody, things went quiet. On Monday, July 29, 2024, the Tampa police chief, along with the sheriff of Jacksonville and the Hillsborough County State Attorney, announced 3 arrests in the death of Julio Fulio. Alicia, Isaiah, and Sean were all charged with first-degree premeditated, which, under Florida law, is punishable by death. They were also charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree. Sean, the youngest of the 3, faced additional charges, including 3 counts of attempted premeditated with a firearm and tampering with physical evidence. Additionally, 2 other men, 30-year-old Rashad Murphy and 27-year-old Davian Murphy, were named and listed as wanted for murder. The 2 cousins, along with Sean, are accused of being the shooters who ambushed Fulio's car, resulting in his death and injuring 3 others. They were captured on hotel surveillance and cameras from a Tesla park on the day of the homicide. Isaiah and his girlfriend Alicia tracked and followed Fulio to 2 separate locations in Tampa. At each location, they got out of their vehicle, and Isaiah used his cell phone. After these communications, suspects in a second vehicle arrived at each location. Both vehicles then followed Julio Fulio from a club to the hotel. One of the vehicles drove by Fulio's parked car twice, seemingly confirming his location. Then, 3 armed shooters exited their vehicle and opened fire, killing Fulio with a handgun and 2 rifles. Surveillance footage, license plate readers, and car logs identified the suspects' vehicles. Law enforcement is well aware that Julio Fulio was from 6 Block and rivaled rapper Youngeen Ace, who is associated with ATK. It turns out Isaiah is a documented member of ATK, while the Murphy cousins are documented affiliates of another gang known as 1200. Both ATK and 1200 are allies, and their feud with rival gangs has been ongoing for over a decade, resulting in dozens of on both sides. Law enforcement now believes all the listed suspects collaborated to track and kill Julio Fulio. Isaiah, more commonly known as Gouda Zay, has a rap video that eerily resembles the night Fulio was killed, even though it was recorded 10 months earlier. His girlfriend, Alicia, is rumored by fans to have been one of the females at Julio Fulio's Airbnb party on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. With the help of U.S. Marshals, Jacksonville sheriffs were able to locate Rashad Murphy in an apartment complex in southwest Jacksonville after midnight. SWAT arrived at the scene, leading to a standoff as Rashad refused to come out and allegedly held a gun to his own head while on FaceTime with his girlfriend. Rashad eventually surrendered and was taken into custody.
A 4th suspect wanted in connection with the murder of Jacksonville rapper Fulio is in custody now. Rashad Murphy was arrested after an hours-long standoff overnight at an apartment complex in Ortega. Riley Phillips joins us live now from those apartments with more about what happened. Riley?
Yes, we drove through that apartment complex a few hours ago. We could already see crews out there cleaning up the damage from the SWAT standoff. There were some broken windows. JSO had to use tear gas to get Rashad Murphy to come out of the apartment and surrender. And Sheriff Waters says they wanted to do everything they could to make sure Rashad was taken into custody safely.
It just shocked me that he was here.
Danielle Collins could not believe what happened in her apartment complex overnight.
It was roped off around my car and everything, and people were standing out, and I was like, what's going on out here? And they was like, they had somebody held up in one of the apartments across the way.
She lives at the Collins Preserve Apartments, where Rashad Murphy was taken into custody. Rashad is one of 5 suspects connected to the murder of Jacksonville rapper Fulio, and the 4th to be arrested so far.
At this time, only Davian Murphy remains on the run. As for Sean, not much is known about the 18-year-old. According to his arrest report, he was initially arrested for speeding and found with drugs and a gun. He was then transported to an interview room. The next day, Jacksonville sheriffs received actionable intelligence regarding a conspiracy to commit murder. It is still too early to be certain, but it appears Sean's unrelated arrest may have provided crucial information leading to the arrests of Isaiah and Alicia. Given that Sean is the youngest involved and now accused of being a shooter, it's plausible he may have cooperated with authorities. However, we will have to wait and see how the case unfolds. Where do we stand as of now? Well, here's what can be said at this moment about the suspects. Most agree that the suspects involved are unlikely to escape severe consequences. There's been a lot of social media activity, with many people unfollowing those who have been arrested. Then, there's the cash. And the general view on the matter is that these young people most likely do not have the finances to fight this case. Another important fact to consider when we're talking about this case, the cell phones. We've seen how the prosecutors use cell phone logs to trace down all the movements in the YNW Melly case. In the same token, the prosecutors will be able to track the perpetrator's movements from Jacksonville to Tampa, tracking every location Fulio was at, and culminating in the T-Mobile data can be used to track cell phone locations, showing when a vehicle was stopped or moving. This case might move quickly, and we suspect some suspects will try to plead out early, which would require them to cooperate with authorities. Some will face severe punishment with no leniency or plea deals, likely leading to life sentences. In Florida, premeditated can result in the death penalty, so suspects might be given the choice between execution by lethal injection or life in prison. Most will probably plead out to life in prison, as few manage to avoid the death penalty, and those who do still end up with life sentences. There's not much room for escape in this situation. Now, the last question that everyone wants to know the answer to is, was Youngin involved?
You know, the elephant in the room is, it feels like about a month ago now, Julio Foolio, or Fulio, from Jacksonville, someone that you know, he lost his life. Where were you when you found out about that?
I was in the bed crying and down. Niggas out of here, like crazy.
You shed a tear?
Multiple. Cause it's like, damn, life's so short. It's like,
you've experienced a lot of death. Like, I mean, I know you guys didn't get along like that, but it's like
we were best friends.
No, y'all weren't best friends.
Like twin, bro.
Nah, y'all weren't best friends. Come on now. Where were you? So you were sleeping when you found out?
I don't know. I think I was probably asleep or dreaming.
Youngin Ace, a Jacksonville rapper, has been a central figure in the ongoing feud with Julio Fulio, which has spanned several years and involved multiple diss tracks and violent incidents. Despite the intense rivalry, there is no concrete evidence linking Youngin Ace directly to the of Julio Fulio. Youngin Ace released a diss track titled "Do It" on the same day Julio Fulio was killed, which many fans interpreted as a reference to the shooting. In another track, "Game Over," Ace appears to describe details of Fulio's death, further fueling speculation about his involvement. Despite the diss tracks, Youngin Ace publicly expressed sympathy for Fulio's death, stating on Instagram Live that he did not condone the violence and that they had been on good terms before the incident.
What you think about Julio dying, cuz? That shit sad, twin. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Y'all boys in the street, y'all didn't leave the streets alone, twin. I'll condone this shit like that. But y'all just gotta stay, y'all gotta. It's so funny, cause me, bro, like we cool, like we was cool and shit. Me, him, like we cool and shit. I was just, so funny, I was just talking to Sam, I'm like, bro, you gotta stay out the way, bro. You know, love you out here, like stay out the way, real shit. Like, you know, I fuck with you, real shit, stay out the way.
As of now, investigators have not officially named Youngin Ace as a suspect in the murder. However, the provocative nature of his lyrics has led some to believe that they could be used as evidence if any connection is found. An anonymous source even claimed that Ace ordered the hit for $10,000. But this allegation remains unverified. The feud between Youngin Ace and Julio Fulio has been marked by a series of violent incidents and retaliatory actions, contributing to a cycle of violence that has claimed multiple lives over the years. While Youngin Ace's diss tracks and public statements have sparked significant speculation about his involvement in Julio Fulio's murder, there is no definitive evidence linking him to the crime at this time. The investigation remains ongoing, and authorities are working to identify all individuals involved in the incident. However, at the end of the day, you can't help but feel a bit weird when you watch the last interview he did just the other day with DJ Academics.
You know, the elephant in the room is, it feels like about a month ago now, Julio Fulio, or Fulio, from Jacksonville, someone that you know, he lost his life. Where were you when you found out about that?
I was in the bed crying and down. Niggas out of here, like crazy.
You shed a tear?
Multiple. Cause it's like, damn, life's so short. It's like,
You've experienced a lot of death. Like, I mean, I know you guys didn't get along like that, but it's like
we best friends.
No, y'all weren't best friends.
I like twin, bro.
Nah, y'all weren't best friends. Come on now. Where were you? So you were sleeping when you found out?
I don't know. I think I was probably asleep or dreaming.
It just feels incoherent. First, he says that he shed a tear once Julio passed. He first said that he was in bed when he found out about the sad news, and he said how life is short. Youngin even went as far as saying they were best friends. But then, when academics asked him about where he was at the time when he found out, he said that he may have been sleeping or dreaming. Then, when academics mentioned that the shooting took place in Tampa, Youngin first said that he didn't know that's where the shooting took place. But just a few seconds later, he said that it may have been in Tampa. Now, we can go into the rabbit hole of just how bad of a liar Youngin is. During the interview, he was constantly looking away from academics, holding his cup nervously, taking sips every other second, trying his damn hardest not to grin and just keeping silent all the time. It's more than just suspicious. But then, to flip the script and turn away from the question at hand, Youngin said that Fulio might actually still be alive because of a few posts on social media that came from someone who used his IG account. It just makes no sense. And his whole narrative is, well, full of loopholes. Only time will tell if Youngin perhaps solicited Julio's untimely passing. The cops must be keeping a close eye on him anyway. The tragic death of Julio Fulio has cast a long shadow over the hip-hop community, reigniting discussions about the pervasive cycle of violence that often accompanies rap feuds. As fans and authorities continue to piece together the events leading up to his the spotlight remains on figures like Youngin Ace and others involved in the complex web of rivalries and alliances. While the investigation unfolds, it serves as a stark reminder of the real-world consequences that can arise from lyrical battles and street conflicts. The hope is that this tragedy will prompt a deeper reflection within the community, encouraging artists and fans alike to seek peaceful resolutions and break the cycle of violence that has claimed too many lives. In the end, the legacy of Julio Fulio will be shaped not only by his music, but also by the lessons learned from his untimely demise. As the hip-hop world mourns his loss, it is imperative to honor his memory by striving for a future where talent and creativity are celebrated without the shadow of violence.